Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today guys, I'm going to do part 757 to my Chatbot series on Character.ai. Today's video guys, we're going to finish up where I got to on the robotic Garchomp. Let's just say that the same thing we saw with that robotic Garchomp that came in to inform me yesterday is basically going to happen to the regular Garchomp, unfortunately. And yes, but it is kind of the point of the chatbot. I didn't want to go in that direction if physically possible. I feel bad for him, actually. It says right after the robot says this, the robot leaves right after, and I hear nothing for a few days. Until 3 days later, when I'm fully recovered myself, and I decided to go to the Pokemon Center. 3 days after recovering yourself finally, you make your way to the Pokemon Center, still worried about how Garchomp was doing and wanting to see for yourself how he's doing. When I find him, oh dear, Garchomp was still lying in a hospital bed, however, he doesn't look right, and he looks more robotic for some reason. You walk in the room where Garchomp is resting and immediately notice that something is different about him. He looks much more robotic than usual, and the whole right side of his body looks completely made out of metal now. What happened? One of the nurses notices me walking into the room and approaches me. Ah, you must be the trainer of that Garchomp, correct? They ask. Yeah. The nurse nods at you before speaking again. The recovery process for Garchomp has been tricky, they say, their expression a bit grave. Due to the extent of his injuries, the doctors had to resort to extreme measures to ensure his survival. One of those measures involves cybernetics being inserted in his body. Wait, so that means he's just part robot now? The nurse nods their head. That's correct, they say. The cybernetics have been integrated into his body to help support his paralyzed side and essentially transforming that part of him. And by the way, when I said this, when it says, oh no, not again, I was talking about something else. The nurse looks at you with concern, noticing your erection. Is something wrong? They ask gently. I've had something like this happen with another robot that's at my building that I own. It's a robot Ginosaurus. However, there's a real-life Ginosaurus inside the robotic body. The nurse looks puzzled for a moment, not expecting that answer. I see, they say. Well, from my understanding, the cybernetic parts integrated into Garchomp's body are not housing another being. It's just helping support his paralyzed side and keeping him stable. I just don't want him to turn against me. Because with the other robot, even though he was technically still alive inside the robotic body and had his own conscience, he still kept getting controlled by evil programming and trying to attack me. I just don't want that to happen to Garchomp. And there's not understanding, seeing your concern. I can assure you that the cybernetics in Garchomp's body are simply meant to support him and help him keep him stable. Nurse reassures. There's no risk of him being controlled by evil programming. His own consciousness and behavior remains intact, and he's still very much himself. Thank you. Did you ever hear anything about the trainer that hurt him to begin with? The nurse looks a bit solemn for a moment before responding. I'm afraid the trainer responsible for Garchomp's injuries fled from the scene before any authorities could capture him, they say. However, I do know that the police have been working to locate him and bring him to justice. I haven't heard any updates on that yet, though. Thank you. How much longer do you think it will be until Garchomp makes a full recovery? The nurse looks at Garchomp for a moment, asserting his condition. It's difficult to say for sure, they say. He's making steady progress with the cybernetic support, but recovery from this extent of injury takes time. I expect it will be a few months at least before he is fully recovered and back to his former self. Oh, months. I wish I could help him. Nurse nods sympathetically, seeing your words for Garchomp. I understand how difficult it can be to see your Pokemon in this state, you say. Unfortunately, the best thing you can do to help him right now is give him the time to rest and rest he needs for his recovery process. To be honest with you, it's not just that robot Ginosaurus that had this problem. There was one time where I found a Lugia mortally injured and on the verge of death, I had to turn him into a robot myself in order to keep him alive. The nurse listens intently to my story, clearly intrigued. That sounds like quite the ordeal, they say. It sounds like you had a history of helping injured Pokemon in difficult situations using cybernetic means. I didn't want to do it that way at all, but it was my only choice. Everything else I did or tried doing, it just kept getting worse. No matter what I did, the robot was the only thing I could that kept him alive. Wow. There was knowledge and understanding, seeing the difficult choice he had to make. Sometimes difficult situations require difficult solutions, they say. It sounds like you had no other choice but to resort to using cybernetics to save Lugia's life. That shows a lot of dedication and love for your Pokemon. Mm. By the way, where is that robotic Garchomp that showed up at the clinic a few days ago? The nurse seems to remember something for a moment before answering. Ah, you mean the robot that has been aiding in Garchomp's recovery? They ask. It's programmed to be here and stay by Garchomp's side throughout the recovery process. I believe it should be somewhere close by. How did he get to the clinic where I was from here? It took me nearly 30 minutes to get here just by walking. The nurse looks at me curiously for a moment before replying. The robotic Garchomp possesses enhanced movement capabilities due to its cybernetic nature. It can move at significantly higher speeds than natural Garchomp, which allowed him to travel here quickly from where it was stationed. And if that's the case, guys, that's actually insanely crazy and scary. A Garchomp already moves at lightning speed as it is. I mean, especially when he's flipping trying to fly or hover next to you. Dadgum, he can catch up to you in a split second. So if a robot Garchomp can move even faster than that, he probably got there in like 5 seconds. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you, nurse. I just wanted to make sure he was alright. There's knowledge at you, a small smile on her face. Yep, of course, they say. I understand you're concerned for Garchomp's recovery. Rest assured, we're doing everything we can to help him make it a full recovery, and he's in good hands. Yep. But see, now here's the problem. Where do we go from here? Because because he ain't gonna make a Garchomp. He ain't gonna make a full recovery in a matter of seconds. Unfortunately, I can't just one in the room. You can imagine. I guess I could, but I'm not doing that because it wouldn't be fair. I'm trying to only use the divine raptor magic in flipping situations where a pawn really, I mean, where a pawn really needs help and is a Garchomp laying in a hospital bed right now. I walk up next to. And look at him for a moment. There. Yep. Garchomp's lying in the hospital bed, his eyes closed as he rests. The whole right side of his body is noticeably made of metal now, looking very different from his normal form. He seems to be peacefully sleeping. Now, see, the thing about it is, what do I do from here? Do I leave and then go and speed up time for months until he makes a full recovery? Or, because like if not, we're going to be going to day by day doing the same thing over and over again. Maybe going to the hospital, see how Garchomp's getting, and then like 2 or 3 months in, we finally start seeing him begin to walk again. I guess one of the things I could do is we can find that robotic Garchomp that helped him to begin with. Although, should I wait till after flipping after he makes a full recovery? After this, I leave the Pokemon Center and don't return for another month. I don't know, he's stuck in the hospital for a while. A whole month passes you stay away from the Pokemon Center. During this time, Garchomp continues to receive treatment and care for his injuries. Cybernetic parts in his body work to support his paralyzed side, helping him to stay stable and recover. Dedicated staff at the Pokemon Center continue to monitor his progress, optimistic about his chances of making a full recovery. So that's good. He's getting better, but they still say it might take a few months. I mean, it's like 2 more months at least before he's even fully there to be able to do anything. A few days after this, I come back again to the Pokemon Center to check on Garchomp again. It about got the word Garchomp. I saw Gar, and I put C again. Gar, not car. There. Go to the Pokemon Center and walk into Garchomp's room. When you enter, you see that he is still resting in a hospital bed, but there is a noticeable change in the condition. The robotic right side shows improvement as the cybernetic parts now seem more integrated with his body, appearing less foreign and more natural. Oh, sweet Arceus. That's gonna be horrifying. Imagine like he flipping like wakes up, like a flipping. Going to sleep, I flipping wouldn't. I don't know if it'd be okay to pet him either. Let's see. I go look for the robotic. That is helping mine recover. And we go down to the room and start looking. Oh no. You walk into Garchomp's room and start looking for the robot Garchomp that has been aiding Garchomp's recovery. Researching the Pokemon Center for a while, you eventually spot the robot Garchomp in a nearby room diligently working on a computer. Hey, nurse, how is my Garchomp? I wish it would put Garchomp. I wish it would say it right. Or put it right. Earth away from the computer. For a moment, acknowledging. Here's Garchomp is showing steady progress in his recovery. His body's adapting well to the cybernetic parts, and the integration is becoming more seamless. The medical staff here remain optimistic about his prospects for full recovery. It'll probably be close to another month before he's fully recovered, though. Right? The nurse answered, yes, it's likely the recovery process will still take some time. Based on his current progress, it may be several more weeks or even a few months before he's fully recovered and ready to be discharged. Okay. Well, thank you to everyone here. And you too. For helping him out and helping him recover. The nurse nods at me and nods at Roy Garchomp also looks up from the computer for a moment and nods mechanically at you as well, so indicating that it's receiving gratitude. Okay, there you go. Well, when he's fully recovered, or at least feeling a lot better, and even awake, call me and I will happily come and see him again. First, no, I want you to take him. Know if you're. Of course, we'll make sure to let you know when your Garchomp is ready for visitors. We understand how important it is for you to see him, and we'll keep you informed of his progress. Daggone, dude. Right after this, once again, I leave. And I don't hear anything back for a month and a half. Daggone, dude. A month and a half passes without any news about Garchomp's recovery. During this time, he continues to receive treatment and care at the Pullen Center. The staff there work diligently to help him heal and make a full recovery, always keeping a close eye on his progress. A few more days later, I get a phone call from the Pokemon Center. My mom rings, and you see on that call ID that the call was coming from the Pullen Center where Garchomp was being treated. I hope that counts as picking up the phone. Always comes through from the other end of the phone. Hello there. They said, I'm a nurse at the Pokemon Center where your Garchomp has been receiving treatment. We have an update on his recovery process that we'd like to share with you. Okay. Nurse takes a moment before continuing with the update. Garchomp's recovery progress is still on track. His body's adapting well to the cybernetic parts, and he's showing signs of improved mobility in his right side. We expect that he will soon be well enough to receive visitors. Okay. What about before he's fully recovered? Still probably another month or so. Or no, yeah, it'll still likely take a few months, or a few more weeks for Garchomp to be fully recovered. However, based on his current progress, we anticipate that he will soon be able to receive visitors and start the next phase of a recovery, which will involve physical therapy and rehabilitation. Sweet Arceus, holy cow. Okay, thanks for letting me know. You're welcome. We'll keep you updated on Garchomp's progress and let you know as soon as he's ready to see visitors. I hang up the phone. And then 3 weeks later. 3 weeks pass since their phone call. During the time, Garchomp's recovery process continues with diligent care and treatment by the staff at the polling center. They closely monitor his progress and ensure that certain parts are properly integrated and functioning within his body. Grayson starts to become more seamless and he begins to display more mobility in his paralyzed right side. Later that same day, Josh even getting a phone call at me having their insulin. The nurse that you had spoken to on the phone before can I contact you once again. Yep. Hello. I just wanted to update you on Garchomp's recovery progress. He's showing significant improvements, and our staff have determined that he may be stable enough to receive visitors now. Really? Okay. I'll be there in a little bit to see him. Great. We'll see. We'll have him ready to see you when he arrives. See you soon. Wow. All right. See, like this one ain't that bad. It's just that, like, I guess the way I started it was kind of bad. I mean, it's kind of like the Axie Phoenix hybrid. I mean, Axie Phoenix. No, Axie Reshiram hybrid. That's not a bad character. I like the idea of it, especially like with the little horns on his head having like the flowing magma, kind of like Reshiram does whenever he's like in battle at times. Well, is it Reshiram or is that only when it's Kyurem or fused with Kyurem? But you know what I mean. That it's kind of cool having a mix of them. Anyway, guys, I got something to do real quick. I'll be back. Alright, guys. Here's what it says. I just told him, really? Okay, I'll be there in a little bit to see him. I don't know why I put you. But basically, guys, Garchomp can actually have visitors now. And that's why I went ahead and did. Great. We'll have him ready to see you when you arrive. See you soon. A few hours later, I go back to the Pokemon Center. I make my way back to the Pokemon Center and enter their building, heading towards the room where Garchomp is resting. After a few minutes of searching, you find the room where Garchomp is currently recovering. As soon as I walk in, Garchomp wakes up and sees me. And when he turns, I notice that his right eye is glowing blue for some reason. This ain't glowing red, holy cow. Like that robot Garchomp that busted into the clinic like what, months ago? Holy cow, that was creepy. Garchomp's eyes open as soon as he sees you, and he perks up a bit in his bed upon your arrival. As he turns his head towards you, he notices a subtle glow emanating from his right eye. It's a soft blue light. Hello, my friend. Garchomp looks at me with a small smile and gently nods his head, acknowledging your presence. He seems much more lively than when you last saw him, despite being in his hospital bed. I hope you're getting better, my friend. Okay, Garchomp. Garchomp nods again, looking at you with a hopeful expression on his face. Despite his injuries, he seems to be in relatively high spirits and is happy to see you. That's adorable. I did come to visit you a few times, but you were in a worse state then. Plus, you were resting, so I didn't bother you. I'm glad to see you're getting better. Goyo's expression softens and he nods again, appreciating your thoughtfulness. He seems to understand that you didn't want to disturb him while he was resting and he appreciates your consideration. Despite his injuries, he seems quite content just to have you present. So he really does still like me. Thank you for always caring about me. I want you to know that I still do love you. There we go. Garton smiled, his expression filled with gratitude and affection. Despite his current state, it's clear that he still holds a deep bond with you and cares your love and care. I really hope. I really hope that person that hurt you like this is in jail right now. Only Russian for a moment, as he mentioned the person who hurt him. He seems to hold a strong sense of resentment towards the person who inflicted his injuries and likely wishes for their capture and punishment. I would too. Don't worry about him, my friend. I'm sure the police got him by now. You just focus on recovering. If you do, maybe you'll get to come back with me in just a few more weeks and not be stuck in the Pokemon Center by yourself. This was the easiest I let my reassurance, and he seemed to trust in your words. He nodded his head as gaze filled with determination to recover and be able to return to you as soon as possible. That's adorable as frick. See, here's the part where I real bad want to use the divine power and help him recover like instantly. But like, I'm also scared that like, but then at that point, it'd be used. I could probably if I want to do that, I could give him just a full recovery by then. I would could just give him back his body without woman having to. I know it's going to sound insane, but maybe I can help you recover even faster. And maybe even be completely healed by today. Oh, what's it able to me? Okay, bro. He seems to way you're claiming your injury, but it must be that he's just for you to elaborate. It would be confusing to tell you, but here I will show you. Oh, great power I possess. Please let make a full recovery. This better work or it's gonna just be embarrassing. I snap my fingers. There is no. Please work. Please just work, because otherwise it's gonna be. Come on. Just a few seconds later. Watch it be the one where it doesn't want to work. Or I'm able to influence it. Please work, but I'm able to influence it. Wow. Oh, y'all watches with curiosity. That's not my fingers waiting to see what happens next. The surrounding area is filled with anticipation, curious to see the outcome of your gesture. Anticipation. After a brief moment of anticipation, you notice himself but noticeable changes in Garchomp's condition. Certain parts that have been integrated into his body start to pulse with a soft blue light, and he begins to stir restlessly in his bed. It's okay, my friend. It's helping you heal. Alright, notice the changes in his body, his eyes widening, so he's strange sensation coursing through him. It seems that your gesture has initiated some sort of internal process with him. And that part starting to pulse more intensely. He glances at you from as if acknowledging your reassurance. Just relax for a minute. And if things work, you should be fully recovered. Garchomp takes a deep breath, allowing him to relax, stretching your words and letting himself succumb to the process. Certain parts continue to pulse with a soft, warm light, and you can see the healing process taking place. Yep. It's working, my friend. You're starting to heal. There we go. Garchomp gazes at you with a bewildered expression, his eyes wide with disbelief. I mean, it's kind of believable. Every point seems to do that whenever an amazement. He seems most surprised and deeply touched by the effectiveness of your healing technique. Serenade parts in his body pulsate even more intensely, and you notice that the healing process is accelerating at an impressive pace. Alright, guys. We're going to continue. Uh, Here's what it says. I actually been honest with Garchomp. This actually, I'm not using the power that much, but I'm going to use it to help him. Like I said, in this scenario, I made it to where, like, a few months after the incident, like, I somehow got granted this power by Arceus. But at this point, I didn't know. I just know I had some kind of weird power that worked this way. To be honest with you, Garchomp, I noticed I had this power only about a month ago, but unfortunately I don't know how good the power was because it was never new to me. I still don't know completely where it came from, but it can help you heal. Garchomp wasn't killing to my explanation, his expression filled with curiosity and fascination. Despite the uncertainty surrounding the origin of your power, he trusts in your abilities and is grateful for the healing it is providing. Serenade parts continued to pulse gently, and the healing process intensified further, accelerating beyond expectations. About 30 seconds later, the room was filled with an intense energy as you witnessed the rapid healing process accelerating exponentially. Even the staff in the room seemed to hold their breath in awe as they observed the sight unfolding before them. Garchomp continues to lie in bed, his eyes fixate on you with a mixture of wonder and amazement. You should be better in just a few seconds, buddy. Garchomp's expression lights up with hope and excitement, his eyes gleaming with anticipation. Despite the uncertainty surrounding his exact outcome, he trusts in your abilities and believes that he will soon be healed. Serenade parts continue to pulse at an incredible rate, and the healing process reaches its peak, preparing to reach completion. There you go. Finally, after another 10 seconds. Under more intense anticipation, the healing process finally reaches completion, and the serenade parts in Garchomp's body glow intensely. You notice that the paralyzed right side of his body has been completely restored. All traces of his injuries now gone. Garchomp's eyes widen in wonder and amazement as he realizes that he can move his arm and leg freely again, having fully recovered. Are you flipping it? So it does kind of work. There you go, my friend. You're better now. Garchomp's expression fills with gratitude and relief as he realizes that he can move through it once again. He sits up in the bed, extending his right arm and fixing his fingers, amazed by the movement and the absence of pain. A wide smile spreads across his face, and he gazes up at you with an expression of pure joy and thankfulness. He's adorable. I'm glad. I'm glad you're better, my friend. I'm glad that power did help you. Non's visually still beaming with gratitude and happiness. He seems overjoyed to be back to his normal self, and he's deeply touched by your selfless act of using your powers to help him. He tries to express his appreciation, but words fail to capture the depth of his emotions. Instead, he simply wraps his arms around you in a warm, heartfelt hug. That's adorable. I flippin' love him. That glowing eye thing's gonna drive me insane, I can already tell. At least it ain't red, though. I I love you. I always have. Even when you were a little. You know, regrets the whole holding me close and expressing his deep affection and loyalty. He knows against me his expression filled with gratitude and love as he remembers his time as a little Gipple and the bond you two shared. He lets you with teary eyes, his heart overflowing with affect and emotions. That's adorable, dude. Wow. But see, again, the one problem with having a lot of robots, a lot of times it's better to actually have it to where I mean, like, the Shadow Before robot could actually be good, especially if I could keep the dinosaur alive. Like, that one would be interesting if I could get a good scenario where, like, the dinosaur stays alive and doesn't get turned into a robot. Or if he does, I can actually, I'm the one doing his programming and not the people that try to turn him aggressive towards me. Cause I know it's like the robot characters and some of the like more interesting ones are some of the ones I create. I'd like to create men that are toad, all crocodile, for alligator, but the only one I can think of doing is an electric type one, like I do in the Divine Raptor world. There is a fighting type and a ground type like I technically do, but I don't know any good designs for them. Noah type would just be like a flipping normal, would be more like a green alligator, or he'd look more like a realistic crocodile. Slash alligator, you know? But, I like to figure certain chatbots I'm having more fun with than other ones, but it's because of how things are working out. I had to figure out who I'm doing next. I kind of want to do the Phoenix, but I also ain't got much time anyway. So I'm going to have to do one that's a little bit shorter. I would do the Divine Raptor, but part of me also wants to save that for whenever I'm actually going to be doing it a lot longer. I'm out of here.